YouTube family! Welcome to another Two Family Homestead live stream. Woo!
Okay, today we're going to be making butter pecan fudge. So, in a large heavy-bottomed saucepan, combine a half cup each of butter, sugar, packed brown sugar, and heavy whipping cream. Bring this to a boil over medium heat, stirring occasionally. Once it comes to a boil, stir continuously for 5 minutes. Then remove from heat and stir in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then stir in 2 cups of confectioner's, or in other words powdered sugar, until smooth. Once you've got this all smooth, then you can fold in 1 cup of pecans. Spread this into either a buttered, or I prefer to use parchment paper lined 8x8 baking pan. Let this cool at room temperature for 2 to 3 hours, or what I done with this batch was I refrigerated it for about an hour. Once it is set up, you can then cut it into 1-inch squares or whatever size squares you would like.
They can see what I have here. For those of you that don't know, this was given to me by Brenda 2 years ago. 2 years ago. At the gathering in Mississippi. She decided, since I don't have any chickens, and she supplies me with eggs every year, I had to have a chicken. And if I'm not mistaken, this came from that. Is it that place, Dirt Cheap? Is that that discount place that we go to down in Mississippi?
I don't know.
But anyway, I squeezed this the whole weekend, and it makes a powerful sound. Now, our 3-year-old grandson Anthony loves this thing. Brenda, hey back to our bitch. So,
she probably couldn't hear you for her dog barking.
That could be.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do something with him real quick.
She went to go take care of the dog, so we'll put Paul on the screen. We'll let him get a word in edgewise.
Very seldom.
So I said, hurry up and do it now.
Okay, Paul, you're up.
And here's the better half of Duncan 1900.
All the way from Missouri.
Miss Zoe.
Now, I was talking with Brenda a little bit earlier today. We were just making sure that we had everything in order for tonight. And she was telling me you guys live in a prairie.
Yeah, it's out on, they call it Ionia Prairie. There's a highway that goes through from 65 to Windsor, which is 52, and then there's another one that comes out of Ionia, which is P, and it's a 5-mile stretch. And we're right in the middle of that 5-mile stretch, and we're the only house on this whole road.
Well, she said something about the land was so flat there that it would double as a cookie sheet if it was hot enough.
Yeah, if you
Pretty much.
put something down, get the good and hot, to get the sun, get it heat, you could probably do that.
Well, we can see, in the wintertime, we can see the cars going by on the highways.
Well, we can't right now yet.
Okay?
Because all the leaves aren't in yet.
But,
Yeah.
Trees,
but how far away are the highways?
If you look north, it's 2.5 miles away. And if you look south, the other ones are at about 2.5 miles. You can see them either way.
Yeah.
If you look to our west, Windsor, Missouri, which is right at 9 miles away, 7 to 9, you can see the water tower. And if you look to your east, Ionia is about 4 miles away, and you can see the grain mills.
So in other words, where you guys are at, the world is not round. That's where
No.
it's skidded somewhere,
It don't seem like it.
and it's got a flat area there.
This side of the world's flat.
And considering we came from the hills and hollers, if you can't tell by my accent,
Yeah, we actually both of us grew up in the foothills of the Ozarks.
Now,
it's different.
the Ozarks is in that same state, is it not?
Yeah, it's in the same state, but it's about 4.5 hours away.
Yeah,
Okay.
and everything.
Yeah.
It's about a good hour and a half down if you get back in the Ozarks. We got one place it gets almost like home, about an hour drive from here. About 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, in a place like that, where it's so flat and so forth, you can see storms coming from a long ways away.
Oh, yes.
And do you have problems with tornadoes, for example, in your area?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, we've watched tornadoes form here.
The good Lord bless about what's funny is about almost 2 weeks ago, all the neighbors got damage to most of their places to our east of us and north.
Uh-huh.
And everything, all it did was blow the door off of the greenhouse, and I just flipped it back on the roller.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like God just put his hand over our place and protected it. Everybody else has got roofs missing, and silos were blown from one field to the next field across the road.
Well, it sounds to me like that would be an ideal place for big farms.
It is. It is. We're surrounded by big farms.
Okay, and I'm guessing agricultural type farms is what I'm referring to, such as wheat and soybeans and maybe corn. I don't know.
A lot of corn.
Yeah, there's a lot of corn, a lot of soybean. They were growing, rotating out who planted sunflowers every year, but I haven't seen any sunflowers in, a couple years now.
Probably about 3.
But you guys do have some livestock.
Mm-hmm. We have some.
Yep. Well, that was the cue, Brenda, just to get you to talk about them a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, we have, of course, chickens. We only have one duck left.
Coons got hold of them.
Were the rest of them pretty good?
They don't know. They didn't get them.
Oh, you didn't get them?
No.
You're missing ducks. You didn't get to eat them.
No. No, we only have one duck left
Okay.
that the coons didn't kill. And then we have goats. And we have sheep that are actually going to Nathan's in about a week.
If everything goes right.
If everything goes right.
Are you
Well, actually, it'll be this weekend.
Are you
If everything
delivering,
goes
or is
right.
he picking up?
Try again.
Are you delivering them, or is he picking them up?
Oh, okay. We're going to deliver them.
Awesome. Okay, we have a question here for you. How long have you lived at the place you're at now?
Come December will be 10 years.
And I think I saw another question fly by. Did your kids grow up there where you're at? So
Oh,
No. No, actually, when we moved here, all the kids had left home. But they all moved back home when we moved here.
Amazing how that happens, isn't it?
Isn't it?
well, what? All right. So you were empty nesters, and you decided to move to the flatlands.
Mm-hmm.
So what prompted your move to the flatlands?
Work.
Okay. So it
Yep.
was a job change then as well. Is that what it was? Or
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yes, the factory he used to work at down there
Decided to move.
decided to close the doors and move.
They stayed in Missouri, but they
They
decided
moved
to,
south.
they moved from Farmington, Missouri down to, Monette, Missouri.
Mhm.
And I'll just say I didn't want to move with them for certain circumstances.
well, you currently have somewhat of an interesting job in my eyes, anyway. Would you share with them, Paul, what you currently do and some of the thing, only the part that you are allowed to share. Let me put it that way.
Well, I'm the day shift maintenance for Sierra Bullet. They classified me as a mechanic, but I do maintenance on machines. We make bullets for different companies. We make stuff for the police, military, everything. And when we had our thing that's going on now, we actually worked all the way through it to provide for our military and everything of that sort. Our bullets is made by, we use them by a lot of sharpshooters and it's different things. We got competition that shoots up to 1,000 yards or more with ours, and we measure everything within tenths of thousands. And I'm gonna be honest,
And they constantly test for accuracy.
every little bit, it's always, you'll hear a thump down in the underground range. We've got a 300-meter underground range, and you'll hear a thump, thump, and they shoot 10 rounds and make sure it's within an inch. I think it's an inch or inch and a quarter pattern.
Okay, you said a
It's
300-meter underground?
That's what he said.
Yeah, it's 500-meter range underground.
So 500-meter is that's like
Oh, 300. 300.
All right, a 300-meter. That's 3 football fields. That's longer than 3 football fields.
Mm-hmm.
Underground.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you come today, you drive and down 65, you drive right past it, don't even know it's there.
Wow.
Well, that's because it's underground, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's so smart. It scares me sometimes.
It doesn't even have the roof above ground, huh?
You got a ventilator, and then if our warning systems is if any tornado, we do go under the ground, and
That's a good
they got
shelter.
escape. Yeah, it's got escape hatches, and the ventilation system is you would not believe how good it is. EPA and everything keeps in touch with it, and they want us to keep it clean, and we do. It's filtration, HEPA filters. It is really accurate. At first, I did not know how to act because I'm going to be honest. Most of the people up here are all country boys, farmers. This is what was funny. I wasn't even there a week. One of our guys came in, was sitting on the picnic table in front of the place of work, and he said, "You ever see my new toy?" Everybody's looking. I was used to this because, you got to keep everything concealed. And the guy brought it out. This has been like 10 years ago. He brought it out, 357 Magnum, fully chrome. Emptied the chamber. And everybody started looking at it. Wasn't very long after that, the man came in and was, we're allowed to use, under certain circumstances, we can use the underground range if it's open. And a guy brought in a new deer rifle, passed it around, and most of our people, and a lot of people in the United States, and a lot of people will say against this, everything, most of our people is encouraged to have concealed carry.
Yeah, the only job where they encourage you to carry a gun to work.
Yeah, and they want you to be safe, but you cannot bring it out, show it, or anything. It is concealed carry. Someone might bend over and if their shirt falls up a little bit, they might have something on their side or in the back belt. But I'm going to be honest, and I don't want this to sound wrong, if a terrorist came in there, he would be very stupid.
No doubt. No doubt.
Well, I'm a little bit curious about this underground bunker that you have there. I mean, okay, so you've given us the length of the range, which means it has to be longer than that. So the actual underground hole is more than 300 yards, at the range 300. And how wide is it? I mean, is it like...
If at the first, when you go in, you got your shooting area and your shooting benches, and everything is got a computer monitoring system. And for the first, I think it's let me think a minute. I think it's first 60 to 100, I believe it is. It's like 14 feet, 10 to 14 foot wide. I think it's 10 foot wide. And then once it gets past a certain point, going down to the rest of the way, it's about 5 foot wide, about 8 foot tall.
So it's not real wide then. It's more like an underground tube.
Yeah, but you can walk down it. If I stand right at 6 foot tall, I can put both arms, and I do have long arms like a monkey. I hate to say it, but I can pretty well almost touch the walls side to side.
Wow. So you don't have, there's not like 20 lanes to shoot. There's only like one.
No.
Very interesting.
Okay, well,
No, they just use it for testing the bullets they make.
And some of the guys, when they come to deer season,
Aren't you, bud?
they will bring them in. Our technicians will actually sight their rifles in. And a few years ago, the company actually paid for my trip and several other guys, and 4 of us went down to Texas, and they paid for us to go on a hog hunt. And they took my gun down there, and we sighted them all in. A lot of people don't realize, but like a gun, you can fine-tune them like a car, like a race car. You can fine-tune them, get the correct amount of powder, get the bullet rates, everything, and you can actually hold a pattern of less than an inch at 200 yards, or even shoot one hole right on top of each other. And if you know how to tune them, actually my one rifle I use for hog hunting and deer hunting, it's been tuned. And
They sight those. They can sight guns in way beyond belief. That's like our youngest one. If he hadn't already been working there, she would have had a job as a
down in the shooting range.
Yeah, down in the shooting range as a tester.
Well, before I get to the question, was there a comment or question?
yeah, Denise, Gemini Homestead, if you could add one thing only to the homestead, what would that be?
More land.
Yeah, we need more land. Or UTV.
Yeah.
I've been harping at him for a UTV for a few years now. Although, when them 3 sheep go to Nathan's, there goes half my excuse for one. It's hard in the winter having to lug water and bales of hay all the way to the south field on foot.
But it's just level. I mean, it's not like when you were young and walked 5 miles uphill to school every day.
No, but it's
20 foot of snow.
it's a barrel of fun when you got 2 or 3 foot of snow on the ground and you're trying to lug 2 5-gallon buckets of water, and you're as short as I am. You're dragging these buckets through the snow.
And I try to keep the water busted so she doesn't have to do it.
Oh, I have to bust water every morning.
Yeah, we have to bust it. We do have a lot of wind up here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I think you guys up there in Ohio, right where you're at, you got a lot of wind, don't you?
We can have.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all.
There's nearly always at least a breeze here because it's so flat and there's nothing stopping the wind from just going. That's like with tornadoes. If we do get a tornado, they go for miles on end because there's no hills to stop it.
Daniel wants a sample pack.
What's that?
Daniel wants a sample pack.
Daniel wants a sample pack.
Daniel wants a sample pack. I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, Daniel, guys, my judge, he works at or he part-time worked at an outdoor sports store, I guess you might call it here, where there's a
I guess it's your turn, huh?
shooting range in the
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, yes, our dogs wear clothes.
Okay, what I'm doing, folks, I'm getting the phone set up here so we can open those up for folks. So, Sherry,
Okay.
Red Duchess Farm is here.
What's that?
Red Duchess Farm.
Oh.
Brenda and Paul, you're special.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah,
Hi, Mark.
Red Duchess Farm. Mark, hope you're all doing fine there. Lynn is asking if there's any trees.
Well, that's a good question. There's not a lot of woods around here or forest. Most of your trees are mainly in the fence rows around the fields. Now, our yard is an exception to the rule here. If it's summertime, you can't see our house coming up the road till you're literally right here in front of it. But for the most part, there's very few trees.
Lazy Acres Homestead loves your dogs, Brenda.
Thank you. They're spoiled rotten.
Yeah, what's funny is my first year was here. First summer, Paul David, our son came back from the state of Washington. And the longest time we had to get used to it. The warthogs out of Air Force Base with two stations come in and they use this place as a mock bombing run. And this house was built in 1900. And they built a mock bombing run. And they checked out. So all they did was outside and they did one with the guy. It was kind of like slow motion there, within seconds. The guy come around, he popped up on the board off, B10, what you want to call it. Looks down, Paul David looks up there, what he thought of. Yeah, the guy started laughing, took off. That's the last time we had him use our house as a bombing run.
Yeah, this house stood empty for a couple of years before we bought it. They were using it as a mock target. Now, Air Force Base is about 17 miles from.
And we've got all kinds of fighters, jets, stealth, everything fly through here. And then fly a lot of times pulled up that
They fly low enough you can see their insignia on there.
What's funny is most of them here are all these people. You can wave at we'll just say on the platform, get some trouble, get them way back and forth, way back. It's fun to see.
Okay. Brenda, I'm going to have you turn your microphone off and back on, if you would. The little,
Oh,
yeah, the video's okay, but the microphone is starting to cut in and out. So just turn it off and turn it back on, and that should be good.
how's that?
Right now, that sounds wonderful.
Okay. Just say I can hear something playing in the background. I'm just not sure where it's coming from.
Sound like a TV set almost.
No, quit now.
Well, there's nothing here. Brenda, I know you were asking for a new TV set. Are you trying to
Actually, no, I'm not looking for a new TV set. I could live without a TV for the rest of my life, I think.
Okay, yeah, folks, I've got the phone lines open, so you'll see the numbers scrolling across the top of the screen. You can dial any of those. Well, I put two numbers up there. You can dial either one of those numbers. You have to enter the meeting ID, which is following on the screen there, of 863-7289-9042, and then it will prompt you for a password, which is also being displayed on the screen. In this case, this evening, it's 700-100. That'll drop you into a waiting room, in which case I will see you pop up on the screen. I won't have any idea who you are, but I will see somebody is in the waiting room. So I would admit you into the room and say, hello, please tell us your name. You are live on the air, so.
I can't call in and order a possum pizza.
Not tonight.
Raccoon one?
You want pizza? Oh no, there's some of yours perfect. You like pizza?
Who doesn't like pizza?
He likes food. It don't matter what it is.
This is true.
Sort of like
What is
smudge.
it? What is it? He likes spaghetti, asparagus, or what is it he likes?
He'll eat anything.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, what is it? Eggs?
No, he likes eggs.
Okay.
If you put hot sauce on them.
Now see, Smudge doesn't like green beans. He's not too much of a veggie eater. He doesn't like his green
Oh no,
beans.
he'll eat green beans. This one will. I think the only thing he won't eat is lettuce. That's the only thing we've found so far that he won't eat. These are both rescue dogs, by the way.
No, Robert, you can't. Well, you can call them cheesecake orders, but not guaranteeing you get one.
Only if I get some.
Okay, and I saw a couple comments in the chat there that you indicate you thought you heard some buzzing and so forth, and very well could have. I've made a couple changes here. Would you let me know if that's any better? Appreciate it so much because we certainly endeavor to bring you a high quality sound as well. I'm not sure just exactly where it's coming from. So Brenda, do you have your gardens all planted for 2020?
Oh gosh, I have the cool weather crops planted. I have like lettuces and cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, all that good stuff. And I just planted cucumbers. What was it? Day 3 yesterday?
Ringing's gone, Daryl.
Okay, and we have a caller, so let's let him in the room here. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Oh, this is nobody.
This is nobody.
But I would like to order a possum tail pizza.
I know who's got them possum tails.
You're getting a four-legged animal this weekend. Hush.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
We're being rained out currently. It has rained here all day.
Yeah, we need to get the ark out. It's terrible.
It was raining here yesterday.
Well, we didn't order.
Yes.
Why'd you send it?
Ted says the meeting ID isn't working for her.
Wasn't me. I didn't send it at all.
Are you sure?
It just came through here on its way to you.
Yeah, we're being trolled. You got that right, Anne-Marie. We are being trolled.
Y'all acting like them being trolled is a new thing. I do this like 3 times a week.
Well, I know that. Usually you call in on Tuesday nights.
Sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
About as good as the time when I got Paul at our Homestead picnic when I told him I was thinking about getting into some sheep and asked him if he knew where I could find any.
They're down back.
Yeah, they are put up already, right? Okay.
And you do have to, good Lord willing, I'll get them down to you this weekend if we can. You know you got to take and be nice and talk to them and be sweet to them. And
Yeah,
they're spoiled rotten.
they are spoiled. But they're not the world's friendliest fellow.
No, it takes a while to get used to you.
Teresa, our property is saturated. We can't even get out in the garden now.
Well, you could. You just have to wear mud boots.
And even then, they'd have to go up to your hips.
Yeah, hip mud boots.
Yeah, I looked at the forecast last night and it said no more rain through Friday.
They changed.
Got up this morning, it was raining.
Oh, yeah, it's done nothing but pour all day long.
It didn't pour here, but we did get a steady rain this morning.
I'm just glad I got my yard mowed before all this rain's supposed to be coming in.
Yeah, Daryl got off.
Yeah, we'll probably bring it with us for you for over the weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, first everybody was locked in because of the pandemic, and now you can't get out because it's too wet to do anything. So.
Mm-hmm.
If we get a lot of rain, we have a hard time getting out of here because there's low water bridges all the way around us.
Except one way.
Yep.
So,
and they flood.
So something else Brenda and I talked about today, because I've watched their videos, and I've seen their videos that although they have some property, as they have reflected to you, you look out and about, and it's just flat, and you see for miles. And I know that they heat with wood. They go through a lot of wood every winter. So I asked her, I said, where do you get this wood? And she says, Paul just goes out and finds it someplace and brings it home. So I don't know.
We have different people that we get it from. If somebody has a tree down and needs it cut up,
Or they're cleaning up their place.
Yeah.
And we just, if it burns, I use it.
Sydney from the Naked Garden is asking, what crops do you have the worst luck with?
the worst luck with? Probably squash. I can get these great big, huge, beautiful plants with squash coming out all over the place, and it never fails. The squash bugs that come in and kill them out.
Wow. Yeah. Kiss My Grass still can't get in. I said Nathan broke it.
Nathan broke it?
Nathan broke it.
Nathan did it.
Nathan did it.
There's a good possibility I did it, but if I did it, I didn't know I done it.
You're not crossing this time.
Well, go back and undo it then.
Well, you used the numbers that were on the screen, didn't you, Nathan? Or did you have your own private set somewhere?
No, I used the number on the screen this time.
Or does he have his own stash?
Yeah, I don't know.
There is.
I've got a notebook in front of me full of all these numbers, so.
That's scary.
I may need to turn the volume down just a little.
Anyway, I'm going to get off here, so maybe it will let somebody else call in.
Well,
If I did break it.
There shouldn't be any problem with that, Nathan. I mean, obviously.
Oh, I know that. But I don't get the best signal out here, so I'm going to hop off here. I hope y'all have a good evening. I'm going to sit over here and watch.
Okay, Nathan, thanks so much for calling, and you have a wonderful week, and take care of yourself.
I make no promises, but I'll try my darndest.
And tell your family hello.
Okay, Ted, dial it now, quick.
Quick, girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, she's.
I was going to pick on Nathan, but every time I start to, I never got a chance.
Sorry. He was leaving.
Yeah,
You'll get to pick on him this weekend.
true, if we can.
That's unfair. We haven't gone.
About what this time?
Well, we just haven't gone anywhere since all this started.
Yeah. Yeah, they've already put in several. Normally, they would have already put in several thousand miles
Yeah.
between the gathering, the shindig.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Bayou Bash is canceled, and
Yep.
the next one after that, and then Pratt's canceled theirs in July. So the next one after that is Doug and Stacy's in August.
Yep.
First weekend in August.
That's not till August.
Right.
Well, what
First
is
weekend
the
in
current
August.
status with the one in Ohio?
We're holding our breath.
So at this point, it is still a go, folks.
Yes, Jessica and I are waiting to the very end
It is very possible that
to see what Governor DeWitt does.
the Buckeye Sizzler will be the first YouTubers meetup of 2020.
That would be cool. That would be cool. What is the one thing you're excited to grow this season?
Oh gosh.
Money tree if I could, but it ain't doing it.
Yeah.
That don't work.
Mine's been gone for years.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably. Well, I'm starting a lot of new things, but I think probably the newest one would be Malabar spinach.
Okay.
And everything this year, or almost everything, is going into raised beds that he just made.
Okay, it looks like Nathan's getting read kind of online here.
Oh, okay.
Idaho was on for 627. Big Green Homestead, I was not aware of anything in Idaho. I don't think anybody had given us that information at all, so this is the first time hearing of it. And we tried to, I prepared a document at the beginning of the year, and if we heard of the place, we had it listed in there. And like I said, this is the first I've heard of it. So if you guys have something coming up in your area, either in the United States or even outside the United States, for those of you that are international visitors here, by all means, let us know, and we'll get a document put together that kind of has a centralized place to share that information.
Okay. Any projects you're excited about doing this year?
Oh, probably the biggest project I'd love to have done would be another greenhouse. But this time it's one that will be attached to the east side of the house, or no, the south side of the house here. Actually, right behind this window.
How big is that greenhouse that you built?
Oh, the one that we built is 10 by 12.
Okay.
Now this one here would be a lot bigger, but it's going to be basically
Kind of like a sunroom.
Yeah, it'll basically be more like a sunroom, but I want windows all the way around to where the light comes in. Now we can't put I don't know what you call that stuff, where you have the clear roof on it. We won't be able to put that stuff on it.
We get snow on the roof, and it's kind of like an avalanche. All of a sudden it comes loose, and it hits that.
Yeah.
There ain't no way you can put clear sheet up there, because it'll go right through it.
It would go right through it, between that and the ice coming off of this house.
Okay, we've got a caller here, so. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is Net Rep.
Well, hello.
Shelly knows it was his. It's Red. Hence Net Rep.
How are you, Ted?
Hello there.
Hello there, pretty lady.
I guess I'm gonna have to make a dibble for Nathan, because I said I want to
Compensation?
compensation. I wanted a dibble. Well, now I owe him a dibble, I guess. Maybe I should buy it for him and then give it to him. How do you do that?
No.
Just a dribble at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Brenda and Paul and Sherry and Daryl. Just, I love you. I love you dearly. I really do. Y'all put up with my craziness and how you survive. It was honestly beyond me. But I really do love all of you.
You just fit in. That's all there is to it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The crazier, the better. The better you fit in.
Yeah.
But Brenda, I wanted to also let you know that I have found a place where you can get possum pizza.
Oh, Lord.
I have some. Yes, I have. And if I can, I'm going to send it to you next month.
Aha.
Pickle,
Okay.
Is that pickled possum or regular possum?
God.
You know, you can pickle pig's feet, pig's ears, or pig's tails. I wonder if you could pickle possum tails.
I'm not pickling nothing. I promised Travis I'd never pickle anything again in my life after the last time I made a new form of tear gas.
Oh, Lord. That's not good.
Yeah, the windows were closed. Well, we had to close the windows because we poured it out back in the woods and you could still smell it. Yeah, I ain't doing that no more.
Now, the only thing I can't pickle are pickles. They get mushy every single time I try them, so I've stopped making them. Stop trying.
Well, I was trying to pickle pickles, but you know that episode on the Andy Griffith show where, the aunt,
Aunt B?
I can't remember. Yeah, Aunt B.
Mm-hmm.
Made the pickles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hers would have won the championship compared to mine. It was that bad.
No.
Oh. Yeah, I decided I'm not even going to try those anymore. I tried them every which way with the grape leaves, the pickle crisp. I can't do them.
Well, Matt wants me to try pickled pig's feet, and I'm like, I can't even make pickles. You expect me to pickle pig's feet?
There you go. Red Southern Bluff said that tear gas may come in handy.
This is true.
That is true. Oh, trust me, it about stunk us out of the house, so we poured it outside. I'm surprised it didn't run everyone in the neighborhood away.
Yeah.
But, anyways, my question for Paul and Brenda is, if you could, would you ever have horses on your farm?
Horses?
Probably not a horse, maybe a mule.
We have a miniature donkey.
Yeah, we have a miniature. My dad used to, years and years ago in Depression time, use mules to farm and everything like that. To me, we got Mennonites we live around. He was talking about Mennonite last man. In Amish, I'm sorry. And the Amish man asked me, he was really smart, and he said, yeah, I don't know if I can have one smarter than me. But I like a mule because they're very smart. Missouri, you can buy horses, and a mule.
Yeah, because I would love to have a horse myself. And I love horses. I absolutely do. I mean, they just, I love all animals. I'm like you, Brenda. I love all animals.
I love horses. Unfortunately, I don't think I could ride anymore.
Did she say, I'm like you, Brenda, or I like you, Brenda? I like all animals.
I'm not sure.
You know what? I didn't answer that question because I don't know quite myself.
Myself, I like horses. But one of the reasons I always, like I said, the mule is smart. I'm just favoring mule, but like in the Grand Canyon, when they do the trail rides all down the side of the canyon, you look, you'll find they use mules because they're more sure.
I think I said I'm like you, Brenda. I like animals. You know what? I'm gonna shut up because I'm just gonna make this even worse.
Oh, I'm sure that's what you said. You know I had to take it the other way. That's why we get along so well.
Maybe Ted jumped out. You know, I didn't expect it out of body experience.
Yeah. When is that video about Ted coming out anyway?
And then I can get that stupid computer to fix. I got the 5-inch handlebar mustache already.
I know, you showed me.
I got me a corn pipe to go with it.
Oh,
corn cob pipe.
Oh, well, I can't wait.
Well, I got to share these pictures here with Paul in case he hasn't seen them yet. We've come up with a little bit of an artistic thing here at Two Family Homestead. That's original, and we have them available for sale.
Oh yeah, I love that. That's just awesome.
Yeah, I told you, Deborah, he would want one for the back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. That's just awesome. That really is. That's just awesome. Oh,
Yeah,
and the mats are so nice. I mean, oh my gosh. They're beautiful. She does excellent work. I'm telling you, excellent work.
Wait a minute. They're saying there's no sound.
Okay.
You there?
Yeah, there's sound now. I have an idea when I put this.
Oh, okay.
There was no sound.
Oh,
I had
okay, yeah.
I thought I hit the mute button. I was trying to talk and no one could hear me.
No. It was Daryl. Well,
I felt all alone.
I just went out and grabbed
Oh God, I do some squishy.
Gotcha.
Lay down.
Alright, well, I'm gonna hang up before I continue to make myself sound like a complete moron. But I want to give you know I love you all.
We love you too.
Love you too, girl.
Alright, bye for now.
Night, honey.
Okay, and since the sound wasn't there before, we'll bring it back over one more time here. Okay, so it's original art that we created here at Two Family Homestead. You're not going to find this anywhere else. If you do, they had to have copied it from me because I drew this up as an original deal here. And we have them available as iron-ons or as decals that you could put on a car or car window or something like that. I'm assuming that the microphone is now working since I did attach it to this screen. And anywhere from 3 inches in width to 12, 13, 14 inches wide, whatever you feel would be best on a big truck. Usually 10 to 12 is all that's necessary. So if anybody would like one of those, email twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com and we'll fix you right up with one. So now the advertisement's over, so we'll go back to our guests. Sherry, go right ahead.
I'm not the guest.
No, but I'm turning the
sure?
guests back over to you.
Why? They're doing fine on their own.
We're big on that one, but
So with all this non-conference / meetups that are going on, Do you think you might make
No.
it to? Yeah, tell me about it. Talk about liberals going into withdrawals here. Think you'll make it to?
I was in withdrawals midwinter and kept telling myself, all you gotta do is make it through the winter.
Yeah,
just make it
to
through the
March.
winter.
Just make it to March.
And in March we have the gathering.
Yeah.
Now,
Hey, Levi. Here I said hi, Tasha. It was Levi.
Yeah. Hi, Levi. How you doing? Good to see you here.
This would be perfect on Levi's truck.
It would be
one of those
perfect.
stickers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he should get 2 for each of his shirts for his shirt sleeves.
Well, Papa Truck Prepstetter said to remind him to remind me that he wants a sticker. You don't know how my brain works. Somebody remind me that Papa Prepstetter wants a sticker. So since we haven't had any meetups to go to, and God willing that they open up the state and that we're allowed to have, more than 10 people at a campground, maybe the Buckeye Sizzler on June 6th would be the first one. If not, the one in Idaho on the 27th, I think Anne Marie said. Oh yeah, tell me about it, Red. So will I.
Kelly Gardner, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate seeing you here. And believe it or not, 6 a.m. is coming the same time every day. It's no faster tomorrow than it is the day after that. But thank you so much for stopping.
Get him for that one, Robert. Get him. Homestead Paradise, you take care. Thank you for stopping. Do you think you can make it to one of those? Idaho or the one, Doug and Stacy's, which is in New York State.
I will probably make it to Doug and Stacy's. I know we're going to try to go to the one in
Kentucky.
In Kentucky, the picnic.
Right.
I'm hoping to go to HOA, but I'm holding out on buying that ticket till I find out for sure if they're going to have it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's in one of those questionable states.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Bonnie said their stay-at-home order was lifted today, except no more than 10 meet together. Now, I find that amazing because you can go into Lowe's or Menards and there can be 200 plus people shopping.
Yep.
In a store, in a confined space, but you can't meet in a campground open area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
Me neither, but
Nathan,
you don't want to get me on a soapbox.
Nathan,
Me neither.
I had a feeling you might say that. The camper is still at the dealership, so you have to talk to Daryl about that.
Well, I got a question.
Yes.
If they don't want 10 people, it's only 10 people could be in one group. But if you have a big field and you got 10 people here, then 10 people here, and then 10 people there, and they intermingle once and keep it at 10 people, can you do it that way?
I don't see why not.
Who's going to be there to watch over you?
Well, who knows?
For starters,
Who knows?
how are they able to tell us we can't gather anyway because it's all right?
Give them a mask.
Vera Boy Woods, thank you for stopping in. Good to see you.
Oh, Duncan.
You didn't say which kind of mask.
Thank you for stopping.
Yeah, we can make masks. Put Smudge's logo on them.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they open up the campgrounds, but is there a limit on what is open? They're opening up our campgrounds also in Ohio, but the pools are still closed. The not the awnings, the shelters where you would have picnics, they're still closed.
Yeah. Well, they said the campground's opening, but all common areas are closed.
Yeah. You're not allowed to mingle with your neighbor. Yeah, I'll just stay home.
Hey, why go camping?
Yeah.
Why 6?
Oh.
I guess you can holler across the field at them or something.
Yeah, it said 6 foot in public.
Red has a question. If you have 12 in the family, who gets locked in the closet?
The ones that didn't behave, Red. Just the ones that didn't behave.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this would have happened back when I was a kid, there'd have been a problem. 'Cause I'm one of 10 kids.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible all this. And what California is shut down for at least another 3 months or something. Did I read that right? Somebody have to help me out on that. But
No comment.
I haven't heard much about as far as what California's doing with it.
California, New York, and Michigan, our neighbors to the north, boy, they've got a governess in that state that needs to go raise her kids because she obviously can't run a state. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hey, it's Papa Truck.
Well, hello, Papa Truck.
Hey!
He called to remind me.
Greetings. Yeah, you're supposed to remind me something, Miss Sherry. Can't remember what it was.
A sticker.
But yeah.
A sticker.
Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing fine. How are you?
Doing good.
We're better than we deserve here. Hey, I want y'all to know Florida's still closed, but if y'all want to come down here, I'll sneak you in the back gate. Just let me know ahead of time, and I'll open the gates, and y'all come on in. Come on.
Oh, my daughter would love that.
There you go.
Oh, man, I'm about to break my computer chair here. Oh, goodness. Oh, Miss Brenda, Mr. Paul, how y'all doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Mr. Paul, I heard that you took up a new hobby of knitting dog sweaters. Is that true?
Yeah, but they ain't fitting right.
It's hard for you to say no because I think I saw them earlier. Yeah, that's what happened.
The stretch palmy or the other one?
Looks like y'all had a Pomeranian. I don't know. You said you had rescue dogs, right? And mine are rescue dogs too. So.
Yeah, they're rescues. Oh,
Come here, baby.
Oh.
Come on, girl.
this he's a sable palm, isn't he? His name's Baby.
Come on, over here.
But now Bill,
Come on. I can't get to you here. Come on. Come here.
she can make life hard now.
Oh, there she is.
This one her name's Belle, and she is actually part Dachshund and part Pomeranian.
Okay,
So I call her Pomeranian. She's dominant anyway. She's the boss of the house.
Oh, my goodness. I think Smudgely's file's that size.
Jeez. Everybody wants to.
Probably a bit, if not bigger.
Smack. That's what he
Yeah.
thinks. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Can you see Smudge putting his paw down? That's it. Dog smushed.
Yeah.
I had a Pomeranian.
But
I got a Pomeranian when I was 6 years old. For 17 years, I had that dog. So I know they live a long time.
that's good.
Well, I saw
This one here, I think he came from some parents that were a little too inbred. He does have heart issues. His heart is irregular. It beats irregular, and it skips sometimes. But he's what they call a stable palm because he has the mask on his face.
Okay, I see that we have somebody in the chat here that's in Southern California. They say it's fairly normal. So, and who knows? Who knows? I do know that Michigan is beyond belief. And obviously they had that crazy thing happen in Texas with the lady from the hairdresser.
Oh, the hairdresser.
The hairdresser. And I see that J Love
had got like 500,000 in the.
Oh yeah, I don't know if anybody paid attention to that, but that hairdresser lady that decided that the judge decided that she should spend the night in jail. Somebody did a GoFundMe, and within 24 hours, she had made over $500,000.
You know, people don't realize it, but hairdressers are one of those that they're just flat out of work.
I understand
right
that.
now.
I understand that, but
if they're a single mom or something, and that's their only source of income, they're just tough out of luck.
Well, her one night in jail garnished her enough money in that GoFundMe that probably, I don't know how many years she would have been a hairdresser to make.
So I don't have to work for a while now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just have to break the new laws and make money that way, I guess. That's how you make money. You just break the law, and then you get thrown in jail, and then you start a GoFundMe page.
Well, yeah, the governor ordered.
Oh, there you go.
That's right, Mama Z.
Oh no, I won't land in jail here.
I mean, the thing that bothers me is I didn't know it was a quote unquote law.
Law what?
That it was a law.
It's not.
I mean, that you had to have your place closed. I mean, I can see where they can suggest it or something like that, but to be a law? A law has to be. I think the Constitution
stands as the Constitution, and that's just me.
Well,
I'm not. I don't want to add to it, but I just think the Constitution is Constitution. You can't do it. What you're doing, they can't do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Let's legalize freedom. Let's do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
There's a novel idea.
Yeah. That's why I think everybody in here should buy 10 of my stickers.
I'm on it.
I see that J Love Adventures has posted that their graduation, only 10 people allowed in the school at a time, so each kid has a 10-minute appointment for their graduation.
At least they have something.
At least they have something.
Our two grandkids didn't have anything last week. They did a virtual video, and named each student, but there was nothing, no handing of the diploma or anything. So they're done.
Yeah, that is the sad part right now is all these kids graduating, and they've worked hard for that graduation, and parents have forked out a lot of money for that graduation. That's for right. Caps and gowns and all the hoopla for it, and it just got tossed aside.
Yeah, Diana. Yeah. There are some people that have gone about and done their own business, and there's some that weeks after all this started have closed up shop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
went out of business. That's small mom and pop.
There's been a lot of small businesses that's just simply gone under because there's no way to meet their payments.
Well, I'm sorry. There's also people in our government like this Pelosi gal that she just doesn't have a clue. She just does not have a clue.
Well, we're not going to get political.
Oh, we're not going to do that. She just doesn't have a clue. But we're not going to talk.
We got one over in Kansas was the same way. They really raised money because she had a preacher arrested because the congregation showed up at church.
Somebody said there was something in Florida that was that way. There was a bunch of people went to church, so they went in and arrested the preacher or something, and that the governor stepped in and said that the religion is a necessity. So, therefore, it's what's that word? That
essential.
Yeah, that it's essential. So.
Yeah.
It's just beyond common sense belief.
I think it's all BS anyway.
Grandpa's Farm, he could lend some conversation into this, I'm sure. How you doing there, Grandpa's Farm? Glad to see you here this evening.
Well, hey, I'm going to jump off here and let somebody else call y'all in. Well, I just wanted to do a quick shout out. Miss Brenda, I like your avatar. I've seen that. You need to get Paul an avatar set up.
Thank you.
Did you do good on hers? I thought that was perfect.
Oh yeah, it looked good. I like the shorter hair.
Yeah.
I think the last time I saw you, your hair was down past your shoulders. It seemed like.
Probably. Yeah, I think that the last gathering, my hair was down past my shoulders a little bit.
Paul's hair was down around his chin. Now it's a little bit behind his head there. So yeah.
And just so you know, we can have multiple people on the phone at a time.
Yes.
We can have multiple people on the phone at a time, and we do have another calling.
Paul took what Brenda took away.
So let me let them into the room here, if you don't mind, Papa Truck.
Nope, I'm good. I appreciate it. We'll talk to y'all later.
All right, you take care.
All right.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is Misty with Mama's East Texas Kitchen.
Hey, Misty. I had a feeling you'd be calling in.
I just wanted to share about the hairdresser in Texas, since that was local and, well, kind of sort of local. That lady, that was never a law. And what happened is that was a city thing with the city of Dallas. And the judge, they had been letting offenders out of the county jails that had committed, theft and all this stuff. And then they took this hairdresser that basically had been operating out of her home and that kind of stuff, and sentenced her to jail for a week. And it basically infuriated our governor, which, by the way, I like our governor. He was trying to be fair and everything. Mm-hmm. And they put together a GoFundMe to pay for her legal defense. And that's what everybody was donating to.
Heck, I'll be your legal defense.
And so, and the governor got involved and said she is to be released immediately. You were releasing people that had committed actual crimes of theft and, violent offenders to keep them from getting, the virus, yet you're going to put a woman who's trying to feed her family in jail. That is unacceptable. Yeah. You will release her immediately, because I've already stated that no city jurisdiction or county will outrule what I've said is going to happen.
Good for him. Yeah,
and that's what actually happened. Yeah. And so the money that was raised was to pay for her legal, her legal fees and stuff. Yeah, but and then it blew up. I mean, she's going to make bank off this, but it ticked off a lot of Texans that were like, it was such horse crap, because they were releasing actual criminals from the county jail to keep them from getting sick, but they were going to put this woman who was just really trying to save her business, and she was a single mother, and was trying to feed her family.
Yeah, they were the governor here was letting prisoners go also.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the whole deal with her. Was just, she was just a lady who was just trying to keep her head above water. Sure. And, it was crap, and even the governor stepped in and said, you are not going to put this woman in jail for a week for just trying to survive. That's ludicrous.
That's one of those jobs where you can't call in and claim unemployment.
No. Exactly. And that was the problem, is that she had tried to claim unemployment, and the Texas unemployment, where a lot of places have been really good about it, Texas has been so overwhelmed. I've had several friends that the system in Texas has been so overwhelmed, they still haven't got on the unemployment system. So, yeah, the hairdressers are one of those that still were not, they were not qualified for unemployment.
Well, a lot of independent contractors are that way.
Right.
I mean, if you have a fellow, for example, that does lawn care, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right.
Right.
Or
even the logging industry, your loggers and stuff, they're self-employed.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is no unemployment.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Although I couldn't see them telling you can't go logging. I mean, that's out in the woods somewhere. Yeah. But still.
That was a deal with this lady. She just, she didn't need to be in jail. She was really just trying to keep her head above water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of Texas had already opened up, and, it was just, it was we've had some overzealous, especially in our more, liberal counties that, like Houston, Dallas, that they were trying to override what the governor had put in place, and the governor was like, I've already said there's not going to be any local judges are not going to override what I've said.
Good for him.
And
No
that's what they were trying to do, was override our governor.
Well, if
No
nothing else,
disrespect meant. In other words, to me, they was trying to make a name for themselves, you might say.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
if nothing else, it gave these people who were so power hungry a platform to jump up on, and show what an ass they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's like the lady, a friend of ours down home that normally does my hair, because I'll drive the 4.5 hours to have her do it. She was closed down, and she tried doing it just for a couple of friends on the side, friends and family at home. And do you know, somebody turned her in?
Yep.
And the police showed up and told her that they gave her a citation, told her, next time would be a fine. And then after that, she'd go to jail.
Well, the Harris County judge, which is Houston, she started a website to report. Tell me this don't sound like Nazi Germany, but she started a website for people to report neighbors and to report businesses if they weren't following her rules.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane? That got shut down within about 48 hours of her starting the website by our governor.
It should have been shut down.
The Attorney General.
Right. It's kind of remind me of what I thought you said something about Germany or something. It reminds me of, I'm not old enough to see World War II, but I've got to meet, and I was privileged in my life to meet some Orthodox Christians that actually was in the concentration camps. Mm-hmm. Most beautiful people I ever met in my life, and I got to be around them quite a few bit of my life, and they were the most beautiful people. And what they went through, and people I know that went through it, I never was there myself, but to me, the way they're trying to do reminds me of what I've learned in the past from people that's went through it. And it's a shame. I hate to say it. We're a freedom country, and it's a shame what it's doing for the moment.
Partial. Yeah. For the moment.
Well, I will have to say that the homesteading community in general was very well prepared for all this nonsense that occurred. I've yet to hear of a homesteader that had a problem with toilet paper. I have yet to hear of a homesteader that had a problem with, not being able to get food, because some of us prep more than others, some of us grow more than others, but we all have that same mindset, and we all have stuff set aside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just very proud to be included in with this group of people.
All those crazies. Oh wait.
With all these crazy people call themselves homesteaders.
Yeah. Well, part of the homestead mindset is bordering prepping.
Right. Exactly.
We prepare for the winter. We may not, don't get me wrong, I prepare for years in advance, but most people may not prepare for years in advance, but you're preparing from one growing season to the next growing season.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, even me living in an apartment, I'm growing food on my little patio, and I'm canning, and I'm storing, and I've still got enough food that we have. So, but anyway, all right, I'm going to jump off here. But I just wanted to kind of clarify from a Texan what actually had happened with that lady. So, anyway, Brenda, I love you, my friend. Thank y'all so much.
I'm glad you called in, Misty. And she's gone.
Yeah, she went in a hurry.
And she disappeared. She was gone.
She wants to listen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We're prepared.
Little chewy.
Yeah. It's deboned.
Absolutely. Like Pinette says, we try to be responsible for ourselves.
That's Levi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else that I find a little bit maybe odd, I don't know, Does anybody in the
Well,
chat?
that's beside the point, Paul.
Does anybody in the chat? And I'm assuming that 99% of the people in the chat are of the homesteading type genre.
I think so.
Do you know of any homesteaders that have this virus?
Be honest, I don't know of any.
Has anybody heard of a homesteader that has?
I know some that have been tested, but I don't think I've read any that has.
Well, you've been
positive.
tested.
Well, that's because of surgery.
Yeah.
If you have surgery, you have to be tested.
Right. So you were tested and you were negative. Is anybody aware of a homesteader
Hey, Susie, how are you?
that has contracted
Not
this
off the
virus?
top of my head.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem a
I
little
heard of some who had family members who did, like, not right in their household, but extended family that had it or tested positive for it. But as far as anybody in the homesteading community itself, I don't think so. I haven't heard of any.
But even after testing, you could walk out or go into someplace else and still be
and contract this virus.
and contract it.
Yeah.
Because it's airborne. I mean, it's not,
And Sherry and I both, we had a round of flu.
Well, I think the majority of the homesteaders had it in December, January.
Yep.
When we
December and January. Yep, we had it here.
Isn't that strange how like
And
2 months
I'm
later-
not too sure that wasn't it back then.
Well,
Exactly.
and I was actually surprised when Sherry's test came back negative. I fully expected them to say, well, she has had it.
Yeah.
I fully expected that to happen because of us going through that.
That's right, Miss.
For starters, I really don't think their tests are very accurate.
You're right. Nathan's great uncle passed from it. I do remember seeing that. And Bub, I had to have, before my surgery 2 weeks ago, I had to have the test. And did it hurt? No, it didn't hurt. Was it uncomfortable? Yeah. But I don't think it hurt.
Well, the other thing that bothers me from, and obviously probably everybody in here, it's all hearsay with what we have.
That's true, Anne Marie, we did.
Yeah. But it seems as if somebody gets sick now that they have it. And they're using any excuse possible to tie this COVID-19 onto absolutely any death. And if they die from something else.
Right.
I mean, if they have this COVID-19, which is a flu-like condition, and they get run over by a truck, they died from COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, state of New York City got in trouble for that. Remember, they got caught. It's been on the news.
Yep.
They these hospitals and doctors so much extra over the top for every patient that comes up with COVID-19.
We have another caller. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm just fine. And who's calling, please? You are live.
Baby?
Fine. This is Amanda from Albany Mountain Homestead.
Amanda, how are you?
Amanda!
I'm doing good. I've been listening to the live as we're heading home, and I wanted to give a big thank you to Miss Brenda for all of her wonderful advice, and wanted to just let her know that we bought a stove.
Yay!
So you contacted her this morning, Amanda, after I told you her or Sherry?
Well, actually, she calls me, and I missed the call, so I call her back, and she's got me on video chat, and I've got the phone up to my head. And she goes, I can't see you. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So I popped into the video, and then we had this discussion about all the things to look for as far as getting a wood-burning cook stove, which I have patiently waited for 4 years. And crazy enough, last night, like 2 o'clock in the morning, I see this post for a wood-burning cook stove, and it looks in amazing shape, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if this thing is for real, this is a heck of a deal. And so that's why I threw up my post on Facebook, and I was kind of hoping Miss Brenda would see it, but I didn't want to be bothering anybody, because Lord knows Miss Brenda's up all hours of the day and night stoking the fires, right?
That's only in the wintertime, I hear.
or what is
Well, it's kind of chilly tonight, too, though.
It is chilly here.
So this was
I just
local
wanted
to
to
you?
let her know I really appreciate all the advice she gave me and for reaching out, and just we had a great conversation, and I was able to go in and look at the stove, and I think we got a really great deal. They sold it to us for $350, and the condition that this stove is in, you can look all over Facebook, Craigslist, anywhere, and you will not find another stove in this condition for that price.
Awesome.
Does it have bone
Everything else-
warmer on top?
Yeah, everything else is a rust bucket.
Yeah, Paul asked a question there. Paul,
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
He asked if there was the bun warmers on it, on top.
That sounds like a personal question.
All right, say the last thing again. I think I cut out on you.
Okay, they want to know if it has the bun warmers on top, and it's been referred as too personal of a question, so we'll just let you take it from there.
Yes, it has the bun warmers, and we went through it with a fine-tooth comb, and the ash box was the only thing that really had any issue, and it was just kind of rusty in the back with a hole, and it's like, well, if that's the worst part of this whole stove, I can't complain.
Yeah.
But we had a great conversation, and we were talking about the various things, like, weather. Speaking of tornadoes, she's up in the flatlands, and when my husband and we were searching for property, we actually chose the mountains of Ozark for a purpose. And that's because tornadoes don't like mountains. They don't like hopping.
The mountains are pushing back up into the sky.
Well,
Yeah, we've had tornado issues close by, but it's never really been anything that would stretch for miles on end. And oh my gosh, I don't see how you do it, Brenda.
You get used to it after a while. We've had almost 10 years
I don't know if I could
now. Although I love my mountains.
She likes seeing
yes.
She likes seeing the Wicked Witch on that bicycle fly by every now and again.
Just as long as her house doesn't go with it, right?
Nathan, how did I know?
Hey, it's been here for 120 years, so I think it's pretty strong, pretty sturdy.
Yeah, I would say so. It's probably got a lot of stories it could tell, being that you've got such an amazing place, which is even more crazy as we were talking. I mean, her house looks and has similar features as a house that I grew up in back in Tennessee, with her 9-foot ceilings and wraparound porch and, what you consider those beautiful country homes. And, I just love her house and what she's done over there with her place.
Brenda.
We got a lot of work to do on
Brenda.
Yeah.
Brenda, Nathan gave you a visual. Nathan said if you're as tall as he is, you can warm your buns easily on any stove.
I'm not that tall.
Yes, as short as I am, I can.
Sorry, what?
Everybody's waiting.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to get off here. I just wanted to tell Miss Brenda thank you so much for reaching out. And,
You're very welcome, honey.
if anybody is new to the live stream,
that it was just
you've entered into a wonderful community, because that's exactly how I feel. Like, we are taking care of each other and giving, sharing our knowledge, sharing the advice, sharing what we know, or at least saying, go talk to someone else they might know. And that is something that I have longed for
and
in my life.
Amanda's a good dog walker.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you,
I love you some Smudge now.
Nobody knows everything. But in a community,
he blows me away.
There's bound to be somebody know what you need to know.
Yep. We have. This is one. It's not a community. It's a family. It's just a humongous family, and people just don't understand.
No, and it's hard to wrap your head around when you first kind of step into it, and the thing that I love is through the YouTube, you get to kind of know the people first.
Right.
But then when you meet them in person, you realize this is the reality TV, because we're not sugarcoating these things. We are who we are. We don't have, National Geographic trying to punch up the story for us.
Well, until last April, you and I never met each other. And we met at the shindig, and we were just instantly family because we had chatted so much online.
Yeah.
And it's, it's just like that warm church family that, and seriously, I've not found that with any other community except this one.
Yeah, and
I am forever grateful to know so many people and getting to know more people as we go.
Yeah. And
Miss Brenda, I want to say thank you so much for reaching out.
I think.
Oh, it was no problem.
I think.
She didn't mind me sticking a phone down into my stove to show her what to look for and what not to look for.
I think Vincent said it best. I found my people.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to let you go because I got to get home and unload the stove.
Well.
Oh, you're still on the road?
Well, you know how it is when you're in the country. When you go to the city, you got to do all the other stuff you're supposed to do before you go home.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you.
We got a couple of other stops to make. We're just now getting home.
Well, glad you had the chance to call in, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you for finding the time to give us a call and to join us on the stream here.
Absolutely. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Take care, Amanda.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And I think Brenda can agree with me because we've chatted about this the last, 3 years, that sometimes this family is closer than blood family.
Oh, yes.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, I've said that before on videos, and it's true.
And
this community / family is my family.
Yeah, Diana just said the same thing. I hang out with homesteaders on YouTube more than I do my blood family. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my own family thought I was crazy, so.
There's no swearing in here, Papa Truck. Oh, Nathan, you are such a wuss.
Uh-oh. What's up with Nathan?
He says I am much worse in person than I am in my videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Pushover.
Oh, Susie, don't you even start that, but thank you. I had help. On this one. Susie, are you going to have the same assistant that you had last year at the HOA? Red, you never met me before last October, and we didn't really know each other too long before the HOA. And as soon as I saw you rolling over with your boys, I knew exactly who you were. I didn't have to see your hat. And that was it. We were instantly bonded.
Yes, I'll never forget her.
Yep.
Coming up behind me and just screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Brenda!
Yep. Uh-huh.
What?
JC, Oregon, Homestead, you're fine. But we'll take the hugs. You're going to train him better? I hear you, Susie. Good luck on that. Make sure there's price tags. Oh, wait a minute. You had price tags last year. He was making really good deals on her stuff. I still have my mittens in hiding though, Susie. Because I know if I
thought you were talking about bandana, Grandma.
Yeah, because I know if I don't, and if Kaylee comes over, they won't be in my house anymore.
Yeah, she'll.
Kaylee knows you made them, and she will abscond them and take them home.
Uh-oh. And we had some good conversations with Bandana Grandma at the HOA.
I had a good time.
And Paul kept flirting with her.
Yeah, picking at her.
He flirts with all the women.
Oh, he does real good at that.
Yeah.
Yep, I thought you did, Susie. I thought you did. Well, sir, it's 10:30.
Yep, getting to be about time here.
Yeah.
9:30. Yeah. 9:30 here.
Yeah, it's 9:30 here, but. Yeah.
So, Paul, Brenda, you got any?
It's bedtime, huh?
Yeah.
You got any famous last words here for anybody?
Just stay safe and stay cool.
Stay safe and cool. Sherry?
Stay cool.
No.
Well, I do have some.
Oh,
I just want everybody to remember that whenever a door closes for you and another one opens,
Sherry thought he was going to do that.
The hum. Yeah,
your house just may be haunted. So everyone have a good evening.
Lord.
And next Monday night we will have Miracle Homestead.
Miss Kathy from Florida.
And tomorrow night we'll have Tech Tuesday. So take care, everybody.
Awesome.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Appreciate our
moderators. Good night, everybody.
Appreciate our moderators. And special thank you to all of our channel members.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to become a member of Smudge's People, Smudge's Tribe, just click on the join button below. We'd love to have you.
Papa Drug.
Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.